All right, folks, we're back for the league that means nothing. I am one of your commentators today, Tommy Fresh from the Fresh and Buds podcast. Joined with me yet again is Mo Bogsley from, around the corner. We don't know where he's from. What's going on? What is the deal with the match today? We have Azalea versus Dromai.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this one. It should be Joe, my favorite, I believe. It's hard for Azalea to shoot down all those dragons, not a lot of poppers, but Azalea can sometimes just get a lot of dominated on hits and take control.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have Az on Azalea, fitting as Azalea. I never really put that together until right now. Oh, let me actually.
Did he just pick up the deck recently? Is this a new hero for Az?
No. This is the big Az thing. Az likes to do this. I have actually right here. Go Again Gaming, Hartford 2024. That's Azalea right there,
That's
folks.
sick. Look at you.
Pretty cool. We're gonna just let's go over to the gameplay, right? Let's just go over. I think this is working. I hope so, because you're gonna have to edit the heck out of this. I saw some sweet editing skills the last time. We have Az on Azalea. Can you see this, Mo Bogsley? I hope so.
I can.
You're gonna have to go.
We got a Shimmer's playmat for Dromai, very fitting.
Ooh.
And a custom Az playmat for Az.
Yeah, very, very nice. You know, Az really likes to swag. We call him Swaz sometimes, but he doesn't really like that. He likes Az typically, but he cannot stop us from us calling him whatever we want, because guess what, Mo Bogsley? It is the league that means nothing. And the rolling dice.
Looks like it is a 9 versus a 3. Nope, Az says he has 7. He changed that die the last second to make it
what
bigger.
the heck was that?
Az showing off his sweet bow there. And some sweet arms. He's got all the swag on his side of the board.
Yeah, and is that a Marvel Azalea?
I don't know if it's the Marvel, if it's the starter deck one. It's hard to tell.
I don't know if did we get a starter deck one? I guess there probably was at some point. We will see. Mocha
over on Mocha
also has the tips and tricks card from the starter deck. Love to see that. And kind of running a pretty classic build out right now, it looks like.
A CNC, not a bad start, making 2 Ash on the Dromai side, and really just saying, give me some cards, you know. This match normally doesn't go to fatigue, but if it does, those 2 cards may matter in the long run.
Absolutely, and just creating some Ash is pretty important for Dromai, and whatever, you know, the Command and Conquer is always going to demand some blocks, whether it is turn 0 or not, from Azalea, because, well, Azalea seems to
3
care.
cards.
Ooh.
That is some good value right there. Trading 1 for 3, getting a rabble and some other goodness out of Az's hand.
You know what? Az doesn't care. Az just wants to dominate some arrows, I think, and just send some pretty devastating on hits against Dromai to try to like really steal some tempo early before any kind of dragon presence can get built up. One thing I'm loving though is it looks like the Sunflower Samurai dice on the tunic. Is that what I'm seeing there?
That is very pretty dice choices. Az just going all out with all of his dice counters, playmat, everything. One thing to
what was that?
I have a question for you. As the professional Dromai player, how do you feel about Crown of Providence in this matchup instead of the newer helmet that lets you draw a card and still block for 2?
So I actually don't hate it, right? Because there are some pretty brutal effects that Azalea is going to present to Mocha. And just having a little bit extra block here might be the better play. You don't get to see the full power of like the new tome of Imperial Flame. But guess what? We're seeing a Sleep Dart here with a Lace with Inertia.
Sleep Dart coming in for 8. Luckily, Sleep Dart isn't a terrible one for Dromai. She doesn't like it, but she can still play around it with those 2 ashes she has currently.
Yeah, certainly. It is going to be interesting. Now, When would you consider Sleep Dart to be a must block for Dromai?
I think it's a must block with the lower on Ash that Dromai has. So
Mm-hmm.
if Dromai had 0 Ash or even 1 Ash, it's a little bit sketchy because you need to make Ash every turn. But sitting at 2, I think you're safe, but I've also don't play much Dromai. So Mocha giving up 3 cards there, saying, I don't want to fall asleep. And also not taking damage against Azalea is another big thing. The more damage you take early on, the more those dominated attacks will get you later.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Mocha can take a bit of a slower, methodical approach here. Throw out some dragons. You don't have to worry about a lot of poppers, but we see one right away with a battering bolt here from Az, one of the only arrows that is a popper, to my
And
knowledge.
unfortunately, Mocha cannot use that extra action point either with Chroma being popped. They do have to just pass the turn back over with the 1 card left.
This is what a lot of people might call punished in the realm of trading card games, and that's what we are talking about today. We see a flipped Razor, no, not Razor Reflex, Rain Razors with the Skullbone Crossroads. One of my favorite pieces of equipment. I am forcing that card into my Riptide list currently, and geez, I feel like I'm bad at the game.
And Rain is one of those perfect cards to see as Azalea in your arsenal. Because if the top card of your deck is bad, you can just play it. If it's good, you can do exactly what Az did and flip it into your arsenal with Dominate. It is just a Seek and Destroy, so no Dominate this turn. But this will be a very, very,
Oh,
very big red in the ledger. Coming in for 11 here. No, wait, I'm bad at math. Coming in for 14 here.
14 on a red in the ledger. Now, this is certainly, obviously, would be great to be dominated, but this is going to demand, it might as well demand a lot of cards from Mocha because even if it hits a little bit, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot.
Yeah, and with all those on hit Ponder, on hit no arsenal for next turn, on hit Inertia, I believe. I don't know what the middle buff was, but so many of these negative effects that you basically just have to give your hand, say, okay, as I'm going to try to stay as high as possible and try to get tempo later in the game.
Absolutely. And we see 3 cards come out here. Mocha's going to take his licks here, right here, but probably going to play out a dragon and perhaps pass or maybe attack. I mean, you saw 1 battering bolt. You know, you could probably assume there's going to be 2 more in the deck, but you got to get them out of there, right? You got to respect them. So,
Yeah, with Red in the Ledger active, he only has 1 action point. So
oh, he can only play
unfortunately,
it. Yep. Sorry.
yeah, he can only play it, nothing else. With every other effect, I would assume the card in Arsenal is a 1-cost attack to try to clear everything out to not get Seek and Destroyed, but we shall see what Mocha is cooking over there. And it is a rake. One of the most annoying cards for a Dromai player, saying, hey, look, I have 3 baby dragons. Every time I keep a red in my hand, I'm going to go poke, 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 and slowly grind the game out.
Reminds me of the old days of the original Luminaris with the spectral shields. Miserable days to be had for sure, and certainly, you know, with the new Prism kind of cooking lately. I'm not really loving that either, although you don't get a lot of the poking as we once saw.
As using his helmet, looking at the top card of his deck, he does have a knock in Arsenal. So if that top card is not great, he can tutor whatever he wants and flip it into the Arsenal with Azalea. So all the options are available. His whole deck is a toolbox right now.
Does Azalea need something in Arsenal to flip into?
Yes. Luckily, Knock does have reload.
Oh, yes.
So when he plays it, he can immediately put any garbage card in there and cycle it out.
Any garbage card. Isn't that the whole deck?
But
Hey, folks. Cold of Azalea, sorry about that. Forgot what channel we're on.
oof, we're not going to get hired back here. Way to go, Tommy. So Az does choose to play the knock, so he can tutor for any arrow that he wants in his deck and put it back on top. Let's see what they decide to grab. It could be anything. It could even be another knock.
It is another red in the ledger. Kind of didn't, I guess wouldn't say like worked out last time, but it certainly prevented a lot of nasty stuff going on.
Yeah, it prevents all those ash wings from getting frisky and getting in there, which is a huge benefit. Basically, just gained 3 life.
You gotta watch out when the Ashwings get frisky, folks. It is a dangerous game to play. So I really like this play from Az. Az knows what he's doing. He's played a lot of Azalea in his day, and we're seeing that in full effect right now. Although
Choosing not to reload, just wants to cycle that blue out of his hand and draw a card. Bolton Shot is the perfect card, but he does draw the arrow that he placed on top of his deck.
oh wow, we see a lace and a pre-med.
Yeah, so this is coming for a 9, and it basically reads, if you let this hit, you will get red in the ledger next. If you don't let this hit, I can either arsenal the red in ledger, I can break my arms to play red in ledger. Really, you have no idea what might come next.
And Bolton Shot is really one of those cards from Tales of Aria that's going to have a real lasting effect on this game. Just so good at a generic Ranger card. Really, like any buff just makes this card hum. And we're seeing it in full effect right now.
Yeah, it's good in every color as well. Taking 3 cards, saying, you know what? I don't want you to reload for free. If you want to shoot me with the red on the ledger, break your arms. And Az says, you know what? I will break my arms. Red on the ledger gets loaded with +1/+1, and it comes in for 6. On hit, ponder token. On hit, 1 action point. And Mocha takes it down to 29.
Yeah, Az is saying, you know what? He's looking a lot like Tom Petty here, saying, I won't back down. I am here to send damage your way, and most of them being arrows, if not all of them.
As drawing up, Mocha says, I'm going to attack you for 1 with my 1 action point for the turn. I love that domination. I love that confidence. Get in there, Ashwing. Az is shaking his head. He doesn't know what to do about this 1 damage coming at him. He's still at 40. You know, you want to try to get that victory while still at 40. Don't take a single point of damage, Az. I agree with this.
Is Az going to commit his Skullbone Crosstrap? He touched it for a second. No, he's already ready for his next turn. Flipping the Searing Shot here, taking a look on top. We will see if he likes what's on top, but if he has some more buffs, I mean, he is just buffed out. I mean, we saw like, what, 9 buffs?
Are we talking in game or just Az as a person being all buffed?
I mean, Az has some power to him. I mean, you know, I've seen him on the football or soccer fields, you know, some videos of that and seen what he has the potential to do. But in terms of this game, he's buffed up with buffs for his arrows.
Has still debating the top card of his deck if he wants to leave it or bottom it, I believe. A Searing Shot in Arsenal. I believe that's a blue Searing Shot, so not the best card to see.
Blue Searing Shot. I would never. Oh my god. Then again. Is that blue or is that red?
I can't tell. Either way, with Azalea, you really just want to arsenal whatever card you have left in your hand because you have access to Azalea Flip. You have access to your helmet. You can see so many cards throughout the course of your turn.
We got a Deadeye here. One of those buffs that we don't often see the second text be relevant.
But when it is relevant, wow, is it powerful.
Oh, it is
a red Searing Shot. You are correct.
Coming in for 7 powerful.
7
effects.
on hit 8. No go again currently, but Snapdragons are still up. Hasn't used the bow yet. So really anything could be following up this Searing Shot.
Looks like 2 cards in hand. We could see a Rain Razors to push through some fun extra damage.
Mocha just debating his life right now. Wondering why his little ash rings aren't taking the bullets for him.
I mean, you know, you're in an interesting spot as the Dromai player. This is not that disruptive, right? This is just damage. You can use your life as a resource to build up your board state, and then you start blocking more as you can just play 1 attack, etc. 1 dragon to kind of go super wide. But we're seeing the Snapdragons here
Yeah,
Mocha
Mocha agrees with you. He says it hit me.
hit me. Oh,
And
the
the
rain
rain razors.
razors.
Wow, Tommy knows the whole hand. What's the last arrow in the hand? I need to know.
Seeing the future. It
Oh,
is
it's just a CNC. Wow, that's
Command
so strong.
and Conquer. What in this economy, folks? This is wild. As says, I don't want to see Command and Conquer played against me, so I'm going to play it myself.
And especially when a Dromai is trying to keep a 5-card hand, Command and Conquer is one of the most powerful effects you can do. Mocha going to 15, giving up his helmet, cycling to the arsenal. This could be the power turn.
Yeah.
This could be the turn we've been waiting for.
I mean, you mentioned the helmet at the beginning of this recording and saying, how do I feel about that? Right now, I feel pretty great about it, to be honest.
Yeah, that helmet looks great in this situation.
And it's a beautiful card, too. I mean, look at that art. It's iconic.
One of my favorite cards. So beautiful in cold foil and such a powerful effect that really says your first CNC will not matter to me.
And it can get you out of a sticky situation. Oh,
And here comes a snatch.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
I mean, this has got to be a Snapdragon. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Az has no blocks instantly. Is not scared of a little bit of snatch in his life. So, 5 cards still in Mocha's hand. No Ash, though, is the main worry, I believe.
Yeah, seems like it. Although you can activate the furnace now. Lost in thought. Holy smokes.
Oh, that's so strong here. Az wants to keep his 4 cards, but now he can't. So he can look at the hand of Az, choose an attack action card, put it on the bottom, and then give him a ponder token.
Oh, wow.
And there's no attacks, though.
You take the Codex, right?
You can't. It's only attack actions.
Oh, only attack actions. Oh,
so it's a complete whiff.
Whiff. Holy smokes, folks. This is why you tune into the league that means nothing, because you see insane scenarios just like that. Right, Mo?
That was insane. Mocha probably feels pretty blown out right now. That is what we call in the business unlucky.
However, I will say, was able to create an Ash. It's not quite over yet, and we see a mirror guy. He knows that his dragons are safe from any kind of poppers after that lost in thought. So we see the mirror guy come across for 2.
With the marvels. Such a pretty dragon. 2, 1, 1, 1. Az still not blocking.
Az is going, I'm going to play all 3 of those buffs and play Codex of Frailty. And
we haven't seen an endless arrow yet, have we?
We have not.
Okay. So the scariest card in the deck is not available, thankfully. I think the best card is the red Searing Shot again, which would come in for 13. Pretty good. We did see Mocha also pitch a Sink Below, so I'm assuming that Mocha has another defense reaction and arsenal that they're saving for this big attack.
Well, actually, he saw the release attention, so he knows that.
Oh, good point. So yeah, no defense reactions from Arsenal this turn. Codex coming in. Codex. Tunic is also on 3, so this could just be a random ledger.
Oh, man.
It is.
Az, what the heck are you doing over here? You're give Mocha some air.
God. Just straight dominance by Azalea currently. Mocha is fighting for every inch, though, and slowly building that board.
Coming in for 14. You can commit your whole hand and the furnace to just say, you know what? I have a 0 cost in my arsenal. I'm going to go a little wide here, and, we'll reset. But this is a devastating turn if that is not the case.
Yeah, if that is the case, this is the perfect situation for Mocha to try to turn the tides. It looks like he's going to keep 1 card.
Nope, he's not.
Never mind. It's a defense reaction.
There we go. One thing I would have done differently there on Az's turn, I think he could have activated the Skullbone Crosswrap before he fired the red in the ledger to get a little extra value. But,
does Codex put the card face up or face down in the arsenal?
Face down.
Oh, face down. That's so true. Yeah, he could have got lucky and hit a dominated arrow.
He could have, yeah.
Dissolve reality. Each hero puts all cards in their arsenal on the bottom of their deck and creates a pounder token. Az doesn't get to keep that card, and that is so important for Azalea.
We saw this in Mocha's last match really do some work, and this could possibly be the beginning of the turn of the tide for Mocha. We will see, though. Az has a nice health lead.
Yeah, but as Dromai has shown us, health doesn't mean much if those dragons can stick. Unfortunately, not a ton of scary dragons, but it's still 5 damage a turn, which does add up very quickly.
Yeah, not this turn because the dissolve is a yellow. And can only attack with one. Decide to go with the mirror guy.
Yeah, one of the few yellows that Dromai actually runs, but the effect is so powerful that it's just worth it.
Yeah, Illusionist gets a lot of these really cool effects. Must be nice, folks. Must be really nice. Although we just saw an awesome codex. I can't really complain.
That codex was hot with the tunic on 3. Now, what is Az cooking with 4 cards and no arsenal? A rabble. Right on top one time.
Is that a yellow? It is a yellow. Yellow bolt and shot on top. 3 go again. This is why you don't go with the mirror guy with your rabble, folks.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah. Az showing off to go again. Homemade, I assume. Or Amazon.
Mocha is thinking. It's just 3 vanilla damage. With Azalea does not send often. So this isn't a terrible spot to try to take some damage if you're trying to keep some cards.
Yeah, Mocha's in the tank here. Looking at this vanilla damage, says, you know what? I don't mind some vanilla damage. I'm going to save my blocks for some chocolate damage. And this is why, folks, Mo Bogsley assumed I had children before we started streaming because of all of my dad jokes. Listen, stick around. We'll be right back. And we're back. The league that means nothing.
I really hope Az puts a little we'll be right back. Az is thinking what to do with his last 3 cards. Knows there's a bolt and shot on top. So if he activates the bow, he can draw it. Pitches the codex. Loads a
Remorseless.
Yes, remorseless. So on a hit, takes 1 damage for every action card they play. And it will come in for 8 no defense reactions from Arsenal.
Yep. Double no reactions from Arsenal with the release attention. How about that? If it hits,
Double's better than single.
That's what they say.
I do believe double cancels out, so he can play defense reactions now.
Yeah, is that how that works? Oh, in this league it does.
I believe so.
8 damage. I mean, you can't just take it, right? You are.
This is a relevant on hit. 3, 6, 9. Look at that rabble he blocks with. So pretty.
Very beautiful. Still is able to keep a card in arsenal and a card in hand. Can certainly play red and start the Dragon Train.
Yeah, still has 1 Ash up. Az almost forgot to Arsenal. He caught himself. That's good. And it is a Chromai. So even if Az has a popper this turn, everything will still be able to attack. But no Ash left on Mocha's side. So the Ash economy is in a net negative currently.
This is interesting. You know, you want to protect yourself a little bit here as your life starts to dwindle. But if you do have a popper, you want to save it for that mirror guy. Because
yes, this one also has no phantasm, like you said. But the mirror guy's not even gonna get in there. Is he just chilling back?
Yeah, Mocha says, you know what? I'm happy where I'm at. I like the board state I've created. Now you're gonna have to deal with this the old-fashioned way by hitting it with an arrow. So we'll see.
And at what point is Az too locked in on going face where it's too late to kill the dragons?
I think if you get Mocha into the double digits, then you start really considering just face only, right? I think right now this is a point where you might have to clear some dragons because it's going to get a little bit more difficult to get like Mocha to like the kill range. See a premeditate going down, which is great when you got a Bolton shot in Arsenal.
Ah, feels so good. And another release. This is definitely going face now.
Yeah, you got to go face like this. You'd be wasting all that beautiful damage. If only it trampled over, folks. It doesn't.
9 damage is still a scary number. Mocha will have to commit 3 cards or give Az the Ponder token. Probably is worried the next arrow is going to hit either way, though.
Yeah, Death Dealer still online. 2 cards in hand. Tunic not
Being
quite
at
there.
12, every damage matters.
If you give him a ponder, like this is the beautiful thing about premeditate is the ponder matters, right? Like then Az can like say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna load an arrow, maybe play another buff. Sure, I don't have any cards in hand, but I have the ponder to back it up. And ponder works on every attack until the first one hits. So even if the first attack doesn't hit, the next one is still threatening the ponder from the premeditate. The brutal card, folks. We're seeing a block of 7?
10, right?
10.
Or does Hedgehog only block for 2?
Or it's of 9. Oh, and we see a Rain Razors. Holy smokes.
The good news about this, though, is that means Az cannot play the last card in hand unless it's an arrow that costs 0. And as it does cost 0.
Wow.
Oh, the blowout again.
Bolt and shot. Folks, this is a straight up masterclass from Az.
And that bolt and shot was placed into Arsenal off the reload of the first one, which is such a special play.
Special play from a special guy.
And Mocha down to 5.
Now
He's
you
not
start
scared of a dominated attack.
I don't know if I would be pretty scared of a dominated attack. I've died to a lot of dominated arrows.
But you know what? Mocha sending that beautiful Ravenous Rabble over at Az, hitting their gun on top. So it's 4 go again. He is threatening 6 more damage after this. 7 more damage after this, actually. So not exactly lethal, but it would get Az very, very low.
Yeah, now Az has to say, I want to win. I think right now you got to take this damage because I have to imagine most Azalea hands have the ability to send this all the way home.
One thing to note is I'm pretty sure Mocha has a defense reaction in Arsenal. He's been sitting on it for a while, and there's been release attention after release attention, so that defense reaction might have got stuck. So that is the good news for the Dromai fans.
However, he could have used it on that last Bolton shot.
That is true.
But maybe
attention's not for the whole chain. Is it only that one attack?
That's a great question. I think it was only for the first the attack. Like the attack gets the buff and the additional text. We're gonna get our folks.
It is this chain link, unfortunately. So no, the defense reaction would not have been able to be played last combat chain.
Chain link, not combat chain.
Oh, look at that, guys. I cannot read. That is why I'm here and not playing.
Oh, we're seeing a Rain Razors.
Off the top of the deck that was found with the hood.
Does this mean we're not going to see a dominated?
Correct. That does mean it will just be big number this turn, which big number is normally pretty good, though, with Mocha at 5.
Yeah, but Az is at 10. This is a tough point, but we're going to see what Death Dealer gives us. Oh, it is a
Bolton shot. That is huge. 6 go again, but there's no way to currently load if this does not hit. So you really need to hope this hits.
I mean, you can guarantee a hit, right, with a dragon. You want to clear a dragon. And
6
then
go again isn't that scary. Unless he has a second rain razors and he's trying to bluff. 4 cards in hand.
what is
Oh my
Az
god.
doing over there? Holy smokes.
I am excited to see how this turn plays out.
And not a
I
single
believe
one of
Mocha
them.
said, how many rain razors have you played so far? And it looks like all 3 have been played.
It's all 3.
What other instant speed buffs? Could it be
Razor Reflex,
the
perhaps.
quiver? Oh, Razor Reflex would be cute. The quiver being activated could be cute.
Is that what the other card is over there? The quiver?
Yes, it is the quiver hiding in the bottom left corner.
But that's the Deadeye. Okay. We're seeing a Deadeye get played.
No way to reload currently unless I'm missing it.
We
Oh,
see a
Codex!
Codex.
Oh, book!
Wow.
Book.
Booked, Jerry.
Next
This
attack
is
has +5.
+5.
Syrian Chopper +5.
This is going to demand all the cards from hand.
Yeah, 9 on hit, 1 more. So if it's a defense reaction and arsenal, you can keep 1 card still if you block with the furnace.
So it's coming in for 7.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
no,
No, it
okay,
is 9. Okay.
So if he
So, yeah.
does the
Your reaction from arsenal is 4. Card from hand is 7. Armor is only 8, but it does keep you alive.
keeps you alive, blocking with the entire hand for, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You're
Wow.
going to 1.
Going to 1.
I think the only card that saves Mocha here is a sigil from Arsenal due to not having any ash. No, Mocha just passing back. Wait, attack with the dragon first. There we go. Attacks for 3 first.
And you can attack twice.
Yes, that is true. So it'll be 3 and then 2.
As the curator of this league, on the cusp of victory, a lot of people in the presses have been saying, you know, is this legal that the tournament runner is dominating this tournament like this? I don't know. That's not for us to decide. That's for the editorials, folks. But we see Az go down to 6. Mocha not willing to give up the mirror guy.
Yeah, I think rightfully so, right? Like, if you can keep 1 card next turn and live somehow, that could win you the game alone.
Wow. Az is seeing a lot of buffs. Just didn't reveal, but we see that he saw another one on top, at least with Blood Rot. Flip the lace
unlucky.
with inertia. This is
no way to get dominate.
Yeah.
However, this will be +6 for his next arrow if he activates that crossbow to draw the other buff, which might just push it over the finish line anyways.
Certainly can be the case here.
A Deadeye is pitched, activating the bow.
Whoa, wow. It
was
battery
the
bolt.
popper. But the scary part is that this is going to come in for 3, 6, 9, 15.
15. This is a lot, folks. If the D-React is indeed in the arsenal, I think Mocha can do it.
But the effect on battering shot does happen first.
Oh, no, it's when it hits a hero. I think Mocha might be saying that he is dead. Az takes the win here. Wow.
That
Azalea fighting uphill.
That was a fun game to watch.
That was
Az never giving Mocha room, never giving Mocha any kind of tempo or breathing space, and just said, you know what? Your dragons are cute. Look how cute they are. I'm going to go face.
That was one hell of a game, folks. The league that means nothing never fails to disappoint. And Neither do we. We are just the best commentators that have ever been on this league. Thank you so much. Mo, tell the folks where they can find you.
Honestly, follow me on Twitter at Mobogsley. Find me on Tommy's channel. Find me on everyone else's channel but my own. I'm everywhere. $20 and I'll be on your channel. Just hit me up.
Only cost us 10 to get you on this one, folks. You can continue to find me on Twitter at FreshBudsPod. I have a podcast called Fresh and Buds. Check that out. As always, enjoy Go Again Gaming. This is a wonderful channel, as is a wonderful person, and destroy that Dromai. But thank you all, and see you soon, maybe. Wee.